Immigration has always been important to JFS. In fact, it's how we began our organization. 100 years ago, there were Jews stuck at the border right after World War I. And so from the very beginning, we've been rescuing people at our border. This is just an opportunity for us to live our values. We recognized, along with the ACLU and a number of other organizations, there were literally hundreds of thousands of San Diegans who were concerned about being deported.
We knew there was going to be changes in federal policy, and we needed to have the relationships and the support to be able to respond. February 2017, just a couple of us called a meeting together about how do we prepare for, immigrant families being torn apart, mass deportation, what does the current infrastructure look like, what are the needs, what are the gaps, what do we envision? That led to the creation of the San Diego Rapid Response Network, a 24-hour volunteer staffed hotline that could be the central point for people to report immigration enforcement activity.
When people noticed ICE activity in a neighborhood or they had a loved one who was picked up, they could call the hotline to get legal help, to get services.
Families that are impacted by immigration enforcement, if they have an attorney, they're 5 times more likely to win their case. And in immigration proceedings, you have no right to a lawyer. ACLU does the systems change, impact litigation, civil litigation work. We don't do direct one-on-one legal representation. Really, it was Jewish Family Service that stepped in to figure out how that legal services piece was going to be fleshed out.
We were there, along with many other staff and volunteers, committed to the effort from day one so that we could see it through and truly show up for the community and ensure that our immigrant community members knew that no one in our community stood alone.
So when we got the first call on October 26th, we knew that it was not okay for us to allow for mostly women and children, including little babies, to just be dumped in downtown San Diego, to be vulnerable.
We understood from the very beginning that moms and children without the proper support potentially could be added to our homeless problem here in San Diego. And so for us, this work was directly tied to our commitment to building a better, stronger, more resilient San Diego. We started literally rescuing families and providing shelter, initially through churches, and then when JFS got involved, we professionalized the shelter operation.
The migrant asylum-seeking families that we are serving in our shelter are here legally pursuing their immigration case at an immigration court around the country. The average amount of time that the families are staying with us are between 24 and 48 hours. We are providing critical humanitarian assistance to these families, which includes transport, travel, legal orientation, and then of course reuniting them with family across the United States. It's a 24-hour operation. People are coming to the shelter at all hours of the night and morning.
I've had instances where kids come out in the dead of night, cold, and it's like drizzling, and they're only in their diapers. And if the shelter wasn't there, they'd be releasing these families literally into the streets, like they have been doing.
Para mi futuro, pues, es que mi familia tenga una mejor vida, vamos enseguida.
Pues yo ayudar a mi familia, sacar mis hijos adelante, un buen estudio para mi hijo.
Y yo dejé pues a mi mamá en Honduras, solita ella, y tener un trabajo y ayudarle a ella en mi país. Me quedo allá en Honduras ella, sí. Y también darle una buena educación a mi hijo, tal vez sí, creo que puede ser que aquí va a estudiar él. Okay. Una vida mejor, mucho más mejor, sí.
One of the families that I worked with was a single mom with a 7-year-old child, and every single member of her family had been murdered.
2 of her brothers were killed, and then she was worried that they were gonna come after her son. So she left, she fled. And I thought to myself, who wouldn't? A mother who's willing to walk thousands of miles over a month, 2 months, to come to a country they know nothing about, whose culture they know nothing about, just so that they can give their children an opportunity to literally survive in some instances, but to achieve their dreams.
There's a concept in the human service space called collective impact. That most issues in our community are way bigger than any one organization. And it really takes a variety of organizations all coming to the table, bringing their expertise to really make a difference. We're incredibly grateful for the support of Supervisor Nathan Fletcher and Greg Cox. Without their leadership and their commitment to serving families, I don't think that we would be here. California and Governor Newsom, within days of us operating the shelter, began sending down staff. The technical support provided by the state, particularly their disaster services department, was instrumental.
All of this work really could have not been possible without the core partners of the San Diego Rapid Response Network: Jewish Family Service, San Diego Organizing Project, ACLU, and our partner SEIU 221. When multiple organizations come together around a shared vision, a shared purpose, we can really have some major impact. And I think that's what we've been able to do in San Diego.
I'm most grateful for Norma. Norma has this interesting intersection between her heart and her head. There are clearly times that you can tell that she's leading in an incredibly strategic way, and there are other times that she's leading with her heart. But it's in that intersection that she is most effective.
What we have done in San Diego has really put us on the national map. And the story nationally has been that while the administration continues to undermine our legal asylum-seeking process, there's organizations and people in San Diego creating a different story for what is possible and what we can do. We do this work so each asylum-seeking family can have the resources and support to continue on their journey as they seek peace, safety, and dignity.